Last year I did a series of videos reviewing smaller hang on the back filters. I think it was 6 videos, and if you watched that series, you know I raved all over the Title 35 filter from CChem NC, and for good reason. I believe that that filter has everything that you could ever ask for in a hang on the back filter. But guess what? Today we're talking about the big dogs. Today we're talking about the Title 55, 75, and 110, and they are, in my opinion, hang on the back filter perfection. Hey folks, it's John with KeepFishKeeping.com, and when you're looking for a hang on the back filter, or any filter for your aquarium for that matter, what are you looking for? The first thing that you're looking for, especially if you're brand new to this, is ease of use. Easy everything. Easy installation, easy maintenance, easy all of it. Well, that's what these filters are. These are the Title series from CChem NC, and like I said in the intro, these filters are hang on the back filter perfection. Every single box is checked, and some boxes that you don't even know you wanted to be checked. This company, these two companies, have thought of everything when it comes to hang on the back filters. And I believe it is possibly the best filter that's ever been made. And I'm not just saying that because I'm biased because I sell these on my website. I'm saying that that's why I sell these on my website, is because I believe they are the best thing out there. Other ones are good too, but these are the best, and I'm going to show you why. The first thing that we need to talk about is who this is made by. This is a collaboration between CChem and NC. If you're not familiar with NC, they are one of the best manufacturers of water pumps on earth. They've built their reputation of moving water better than anyone else. They're manufacturing out of Italy, and they make some of the quietest and best performing water pumps on the market. They got together with CChem to make this filter that, again, I believe is a gift to the fish keeping hobby. Let's talk about the different sizes and what they do. First of all, there is the Title 35. I'll put a card up here to the video I did all about that filter if you want to watch that, if that's the one you're interested in. The Title 35 is going to process 130 gallons of water per hour, and this is a great filter for smaller aquariums. But if you have larger aquariums, you're going to want to move up to either the 55, 75, or 110. The 55 is going to process up to 250 gallons per hour, the 75, 350 gallons per hour, and the 110, 450 gallons per hour. Now, if you're wondering what size Title filter is going to be best for you, it's very easy. They've made it so simple. The number on the box is what represents the size aquarium it can accommodate. So the 55 is good for up to a 55-gallon aquarium, 75 gallons, 110, 110 gallons. It's that simple. Now, what I always like to tell people, depending on what you're keeping, if you're keeping fish like I have in this 240 over here, big, monstrous, aggressive, active fish, you're going to want to overfiltrate your tank. So maybe you would want to go with a step above, or maybe even 2 steps above the size tank you have. But overfiltering is always a good thing. And with these filters, overfiltering is never a problem because you can turn the flow down if it is a problem. We're going to talk all about that. Again, I can't wait to just get into the nuts and bolts of this thing. So let's do it. Let's talk about what you get in the box, and then we'll go over all of the fun details that make this the perfect filter. Now, like I said in the beginning of the video, ease of use is one of the biggest things to qualify a piece to actually be carried on our website. This thing is definitely easy to use in every single way, and it starts with installing it. It could not be simpler. It comes out of the box almost ready to use. You have to do very little to prep it, to install it onto your aquarium. Now, the first thing that you will have to do is there is a bag of biomedia that comes in it. It's wrapped in a plastic bag. You have to take that out and wash it out real good. There is quite a bit of dust and stuff like that that comes off of that. That's the first thing that you'll have to do. The other thing is you'll have to install this little guy right here. It doesn't require any tools. It could not be easier. There's a little slot in the back right here, and it just pops right in. That's it. Now, what this is for is to compensate for the distance behind the filter and the back of your aquarium. You don't want this filter sitting leaning back. So this, you can turn it in or out depending on the distance that you have to cover, and it'll actually hold this up perfectly straight, again, so that it's not leaning. So you'll absolutely want to put that in. You have to put that in, and it couldn't be easier. And it's just a dial, turns in and out, and it even has a little rubber grommet on there. I guess you would call that a grommet, so that it's not plastic sitting up against glass, which could vibrate and make noise. Like I said, they thought of everything. Now, the next thing that you'll have to do to get this prepped for installation is make a decision. And to me, it's kind of a no-brainer decision. It also comes with this little guy right here. And what this is a heater holder. And where it installs is right here on the side. I'm going to show you how to install it. It couldn't be simpler. You pop this little cover right here off. This cover houses the pump. We're going to talk a lot about that pump later on. Very simple. The cover pops off, again, exposing the pump. And then this, it's not easy to do on camera though. This is going to slide right into a little slot that's on there. See the little slot there? It's going to slide right up in there. And then you put this cover back on and it's ready to go. So could not be easier to install. Again, no tools, just pop it off, slide this little thing up in there, and then it's ready to hold your heater. Now, the good thing about this is with the pump being inside the aquarium, again, we're going to talk about that in a minute, it's drawing water this way. It's drawing water into here, which is like a skimmer, and then it's also drawing water down into the bottom down here. So it's pulling water right past that heater, which is mounted on the side, which is very efficient. You gotta love that. So I would definitely recommend using that, but it's up to you. The 35 does not have this feature right here. It's only in the 55, 75, and 110. So be aware of that. If that's a must-have, get the 55 and turn the water flow down to meet more of the size of the aquarium that you have. Now let's talk about that water flow here for a second, because there's a couple of things to do with the water flow here that have to be pointed out. First, if you remember the series of videos I did talking about hang on the back filters, one of the first things I always looked at is where is the pump located in this filter? Is it in the box in the back here, outside of the aquarium, or is it inside the aquarium? And if you can see how this thing is set up, you can tell this one, the pump is in the aquarium. Now, there's a reason why that's important to me. If you have the pump in the back here, okay, you can imagine your aquarium, it's sitting on your aquarium like this. The water's over here, and this is the back of your aquarium. If the pump is back here, it has to pull water back into there, which it's made to do that. It's not that big of a deal. It works perfectly fine. But if your power goes out, and if you live in the country like I do, that happens a lot, some of your hang on the back filters that have the pumps in the back have a difficult time restarting on their own. You need to put water in the box to fill it back up again so that the pump can do its thing. But with this, with the pump being in the aquarium, it simply turns on and sends the water back into the filter. It's a no-brainer thing. As far as I'm concerned, every hang on the back filter should be done this way, and most of them are moving to this. There's only a few now that still have the pump in the back. That's one of the first things I would look for if you're buying a new filter. If you choose not to go with this, if you want to go with something else, I would look for that pump inside the water. Absolutely critical. Now, this thing, not only does it have the pump in the aquarium, and not only is it a CJ pump, which means it's great, but it also has two forms of flow control. One is on the input here, which is going to regulate how much water goes into the pump, and then the water flow up here is going to dictate the amount that goes out of the filter. Two different flow adjustments. You got to love that. I have not seen that on any other filters out there. So what this means is you can have this thing running full blast, and with that CJ pump, it's going to move a lot of water Or if you have more delicate fish in there or plants and you don't want to blow them all over the place, you can turn these both down and it'll be a more gentle flow and it's not going to blow them all over. You absolutely have to love that. Internal pump inside the aquarium and flow control, 2 must-haves in a hang on the back filter. Now, we didn't mention it before, but only because I can't sit this down if it's on here, but this is your intake hose, and this is going to be something that you also have to install. Obviously, it's really tall with it attached, and they would have to have these in a huge box, but it extends down quite a good distance. I'm somebody that's always been a believer in having the input as far down as possible. It's more efficient that way. So if you have a shorter tank, you can have it up like that, or if you have a deep tank, you can pull that down. But that's not all. As far as the intake goes, there's 2 intakes on this filter. Again, nobody else is doing that. You've got the water that enters the pump down here and also up here like a skimmer. So you have water moving on the top and water moving on the bottom. Again, they thought of everything. So internal pump, 2 different inputs, surface skimming, heater holder, comes out of the box pretty much ready to use. CJ pump in there, which is the best in the market, but it doesn't stop there. There's so much more. I'm going to pop this off just to make it easier. There are more things to this filter that are things that you may not have ever even thought of. When I found these out, I was like, that's genius. Some of these things are just absolutely genius. So, first things first, the lid on this thing snaps into place nicely, so it's not going to vibrate around all over on you, which is good. But the inside of this box is where all of the magic happens. First things first, when you open this up, you have this removable tray, which is perfect because if this is sitting in your tank, you don't have to pull the filter off of the tank to maintain it. It's easier to do with 2 hands, but you can pull this straight out, carry it over, do what you got to do, and do your maintenance. And look how big that is. When you have the bag of biomedia in there, even the whole bag in there, you still have a ton of room to add filter floss or some peat moss or just more sponges, polishing pads, some Purigen, something like that, another Seachem product. All of those different things, you have all that room in there for different things that you can add into this filter box. You absolutely have to love that because we all want options. And in the very beginning, you're probably going to run it just like this, and that's going to be fine. But as you advance in this hobby, you might want to add other things to get that perfect water. And this is going to give you plenty of opportunity and plenty of space to do that. So I absolutely love it. But here's the thing. You might be thinking, when I pull this out, when I have this mounted on the back of my aquarium and I pull this out, it's going to drip all over and it's going to be just such a huge hassle. Where here is where CJ and Seachem, they've thought of everything. This is just genius. When you remove the lid to do your maintenance, this lid becomes a carrying tray. It's got 2 little, I don't know what you want to call those, 2 little things where you pull this up. You pull the tray up. It snaps into place, by the way. It'll set down right onto those grooves, and now you have a little carrying tray. You can carry it like a waiter if you want to. You can carry this to your sink or to your trash can or whatever it is, and you're not going to get water over there. I've never seen anything like that done before. That's genius. Now, something else that they've thought of that I haven't seen anybody else think of, when you're done doing your maintenance to this, whatever it is, I didn't even talk about it. Maybe it is the sponge. You want to pull the sponge out. Sponge comes with it, obviously. It's down at the bottom. Pull the sponge out to get all of the debris out of there. And then you rinse this off with aquarium water. Don't kill all that bacteria with your tap water. Put into your new filter floss or whatever it is that you're going to do. You're done working on this. You put it down back into the filter. Again, snaps into place. But here's the thing. There's quite a few filters that have these trays, these removable trays. But one of the problems is when the filter starts to get a little full, when it starts to get some debris in there and there's a lot going on in there, or the sponges get some air in them or whatever when they're brand new, sometimes these trays can float and they can rise up and they can be up a little bit, which will, first of all, open up your lid, which is annoying, but also it'll affect the efficiency of the filter. Just a simple little thing. I know this is simple, but it's something that when I saw it for the first time, I was like, oh, that's so cool. When you push this down into place, you have this switch right here that you slide forward. And now you cannot pull that tray out. So simple. It's the littlest thing, the littlest detail, but to me, that's what makes this thing great. This tray is never going to raise up on you and affect the efficiency of the filter. Slide that back. It's in there for good. I mean, come on. Now, another thing with this, and I kind of made fun of filters that had these before, but I get it. I understand why they're there. You might be somebody that doesn't service your filter all that often. I'm certainly guilty of that with some of my filters. But if you don't service your filter all that often, you're going to get a big buildup of stuff back here. Fish poop, fish waste, just nastiness is going to build up in here. And if it builds up too much, again, it's going to affect the efficiency of this filter. And if that happens, your filter's not doing very good, right? Well, this filter has, a lot of filters have these too. It has this indicator right here. Basically, if the filter starts to back up and water's not flowing through it properly, this little cavity in the front is going to fill up with water, which is going to raise this. This floats. It's a little floaty, and it's going to pop it up like that. So if you walk up to your filter and you see that, you're going to know, oh, you know what? My filter's clogged up. I need to go in there and maintain it. So that's nice. I mean, again, I poked fun at it in the beginning. If you're somebody that's on top of your maintenance, that's never going to be an issue. But if you're somebody that just filter or works on your filters when you have to, you're going to know you have to when that little thing pops up. So to just go over the list of things that I absolutely love about this filter, the list is everything. I mean, it's nice. It looks nice. It looks very futuristic. Some people might complain about the blue. I'm not one of those people. I mean, I like it. I think it's kind of cool. It stands out. It's neat, and it's easy to see. When you don't have a lot of lighting in your house, the room is dim, and you want to adjust the flow, it's easy to see that blue. I don't know. You never know. Might be a romantic evening, and you want to adjust the flow because it's making too much noise. You don't have to go turn the light on to find your flow control. It's blue, so you can spot it very, very easily. It stands out. I don't know. I'm making stuff up now, but the blue doesn't bother me. But I love everything about this filter. Again, this is, sure, it's a biased review, but CJ and CChem, they're certainly not paying me to do this. I'm telling you what I'm telling you because I believe that this is the perfect filter. Whether you buy it from me or you buy it off of anybody else, it doesn't matter to me. I think that you're going to be making the right choice by buying this filter, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons why. First of all, I love how much space there is inside that box. It's huge. You can do all kinds of stuff. Even the smaller version, the 35, has a ton of room back there. You've got all kinds of options of things that you can do with that. So love that. And the 110 is even ridiculous. It's like crazy. It's like an open suitcase in the back. It's so big. So yeah, all kinds of room back there for all kinds of activities like Brendan and Dale. So perfect. This is held in place with this little switch here. I just think that's adorable. I just love it. I think it's very cool because it's not the end of the world, but that is a thing. These trays raising up on any hang on the back filters that have those removable trays, that can be an issue. So that's going to stop that. Love that. I love the fact that there is 2 different flow controls on this. Again, that romantic evening, you're just going to turn it down. It's easy enough to do, but if you really want to dial it in and really fine tune it, you've got the input and the output. Absolutely unbelievable. And the difference is dramatic. When you turn this thing up or turn it down, it is dramatic how much of a difference it makes in the flow of this filter. I love the fact that it has 2 inputs. You've got the one down at the bottom of the tank, and then you've got the surface skimmer, which is absolutely perfect. The internal pump. I don't know if that's the proper term for it, but the pump that is inside the water, it's a requirement for me. It makes the filters quieter. It also makes them more efficient because it's sending water back there. Doesn't have to work as hard as the pumps that are in the back, and You don't have to prime it. You can set this box on the back of your aquarium bone dry. It's not going to matter because this is going to fill it up for you. Where the other ones, you have to go grab a cup and you have to put water in it. That's not the end of the world, but it could be if the power goes out. So having that to me is absolutely critical, and I will never buy another hang on the back filter that does not have that. The heater holder, some people are going to love it, some people won't. It's up to you. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. I guess probably the only complaint I will ever hear from anyone is that it's blue. But again, that's not going to be from me because I think the blue is cool. So all of those things to me make this the perfect hang on the back filter. And yes, even the fact that you can use this as a tray so that you can carry that to wherever you want to carry it to do your maintenance it's a genius little thing. Who would have thought of that? I would love to meet the person who thought of that little detail right there because I think it's absolutely genius. And yes, you do have the indicator when you need to do your maintenance. So everything from top to bottom about this filter, I can honestly tell you, I don't know what they could have done better. Something that we haven't really touched on much in this video yet, this thing is super quiet. That's, again, something that CJ is known for. They're known for making dead silent pumps that pump a ton of water, and this absolutely does that. So it moves the water, it moves it quietly, it moves it efficiently, get all the room back there. I mean, come on. It's just, I could go on and on and on and on. I love this filter. It's even easy when it comes to deciding what size to get because the number is right there on the box. You don't have to look up the details and do all of this research to figure out what the right filter is. It's right there on the box. You got a 55, boom, there you go. Get the Title 55. No brainer. I could literally sit here for 2 hours and rave about this filter. If you are on my website right now and you are thinking about purchasing this, I promise you, you will not be disappointed with this filter. We have a rule with our website, and that is we are going to carry products that we believe in. And we believe that it's going to be easy for you to use it. These are products that are easy, they're efficient, they come with nice guarantees, everything about them. Yeah, the products that we carry on our website might not be the cheapest out there, but to me, you absolutely get what you pay for. This is one of the more expensive, not the most expensive, but one of the more expensive hang on the back filters out there. But you know what? It's worth every single penny, and I mean that. So we're only going to carry something that I can say those things about. That from start to finish, every single bit of this whole thing, you are going to love. It's not going to overwhelm you. It's going to be super easy from start to finish, from opening the box to mounting it on your aquarium, to getting the water running through it, setting up your media in the back, maintaining it when it's up for its first maintenance. Everything about it is going to be easy. That's the #1 requirement on our website, not the price, not how much profit we can make. We don't make much money on these. I'm just being honest with you. But it's worth it to us because we know how good these filters are. I would not, there's one other filter that I would have carried, but this was the first one that the only way I was going to carry that other one was if this one wasn't available. If I couldn't get this one, I would go to that. You want to know what that was? It would have been the new Penguin Pro Series. I love that filter. But this one, this is the one right here. And when I found a distributor that had these, I was so ecstatic. I was so happy because this is what I ultimately wanted on the website. There might be people that are going to ask, well, John, why don't you have other filters on there? It's very simple. I don't want to overwhelm anybody. I want my website to be easy. I want to be able to help people stay in this hobby. And if they're looking for a filter, they don't want to be overwhelmed. Because I believe most fish keepers are just people that have fish tanks. They're not crazy people like I am. So they just want to go to a website, they want to see a filter, they want to feel confident in that filter, and they want to buy it. They don't want to look at 25 different filters. So we have one hang on the back filter on our website. It's this one, that's it. The 4 different sizes, that's all this is going to be. I don't want to overwhelm anybody, and I'm not looking to win the lottery selling filters on my website. So this is the one right here. It's a no-brainer. You will love this. I have never had anyone message me and say that they hated this filter. Go look at the comments on the video I did last year. It's pretty much unanimous across the board. Everybody loves this thing. Everybody was raving about it in the comment section. So there you go. This is a beautiful filter here, folks. You're going to absolutely love it if you get it. I don't need to say anything else more about it. So I hope this helps you to understand this filter, the ins and outs. I know that it might be a long video. I don't know how long this video is going to end up being, but I wanted to cover every single thing about it. And there might even still be things that I missed. I don't know. But I wanted you to know the ins and outs of this filter and have a good understanding of why I am so in love with this, and so in love with it that I chose to carry it on the website. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you can put those questions down in the comment section. Again, do my best to help you there. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.